Hi.
Tina. How are you?
Tina. I'm doing great. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Okay, so today I'm going to be interviewing Charles McBurney. He is a member of the Florida House of Representatives. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So I hope you don't mind.
Thank you for having me. Thank you
Great.
for having me.
I hope you don't mind, but we're going to ask you a few questions so our viewers can get to know you a little better. First of all, can you explain what you do, like on a day-to-day basis? How do you enjoy it, and just how did you get here?
Well, it's a great honor and privilege to serve in the Florida House of Representatives. I was elected in a special election in 2007 and have served continuously since then. I serve on a number of committees in Tallahassee, from the Judiciary Committee, including Education Committee, the Appropriations Committee, and I'm chair of Justice Appropriations, which deals with everything legal from the courts to corrections and so forth. And every day up there, you ask me on a daily basis, every day is different, depending on what kind of meetings we have or what's kind of on the floor. And you have a great opportunity to do a lot of good for a lot of people, and that's what makes it so enjoyable.
Do you think that's what got you to want to do it, to be able to help a lot of people in this, or was it just your interest in politics? Or?
It was all of that. I grew up interested in government and politics. My stepfather, a fellow named Bill Chappell, was a U.S. congressman from this area for many years. So that sparked an interest. And I got to see a lot of great things that he was able to do, and it gave me the aspiration to try to do some things on my own.
I'm glad you got to where you are now, because obviously you've had a big impact on things. Along with the whole big impact on things, though, would you say there was a moment that stands out to you most in your career and what you've done, like something really interesting, like some serious meeting that you may have had or something like that?
Well, I've been very fortunate over the past 6 sessions to have a lot of great moments where you would make a tremendous impact. I think for me, one that sort of stands out was some legislation that we were able to pass that actually I ran on when I first got elected. That would include teaching of civics in schools. There was a time when they weren't teaching it, and I had an opportunity to work with the first woman Supreme Court Justice of the United States, Sandra Day O'Connor, which was certainly an opportunity to meet her, which stood out, and a former governor and Senator Bob Graham, among some other great leaders, to get this legislation that eventually became law, and you got to see it from the very beginning, which was really neat when you got to see it from, okay, here's the idea, this is what we'd like to do, to here's how it's implemented, teaching teachers to teach the subject, to actually going into classrooms when they're doing it.
And seeing it happen.
And seeing it actually happen, and that was
wow. Neat. I bet that was like a really good moment for you too, to be like, wow, this is actually happening. You got to see it from the beginning all the way to it actually happening.
It was a really worthwhile moment when you get to see something from the idea and get it through. It's very difficult to get things passed.
Yeah.
Got to get it passed through the House and the Senate, and governor's got to sign it and so forth. But when you actually not only get it taken from the beginning and get it passed, and then get to see it implemented, it's very worthwhile. It's really neat.
Great. I heard you said you had studied law. So how did that go? Like, what got you into studying law?
Well, politics and law are very close cousins.
Yes, yeah.
And I was always interested and actually that's what I do mainly for a practice of living, is practice law. I have my own law firm, and I do a business law practice. The legislature is a quote part-time job, and you can't really live off of it. But the idea is that you're a citizen legislator. You're actually from the community. You live and you work here. You earn a living here. But then 2 or 3 months a year, a few months out of the year, you go to Tallahassee, and as a citizen legislator, you participate in the process.
Okay, so and I feel like that's important too, that you're actually like living and working there, because then you have like a first hands-on experience. So when you go to Tallahassee and vote on these things, you actually know like firsthand what's going on and what needs to be done.
Sure, every bill that's passed affects me, just like the people I live with, my constituents.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have any advice for any of the students who might have a dream and getting into something that that you are in, whether it be dealing with politics or law, any of those things along that line?
Well, I think you've got to follow your interest and your passion. I think that's probably the most important thing. If that's where your passion lies, that's something you should follow. And even if it requires some sacrifices in time and study and that type of thing. But I think the most important thing is find something you're really passionate about, that you really want to do. And my passion is that I wanted to make a difference, and the way I wanted to make a difference was through the legislative process. We can all make a difference. It does in any area that we're in, whether it's education or in journalism or wherever. So the main thing is, follow your passion, whatever your passion is.
And just try hard and go at it.
Absolutely, go for it all the way.
All right, and just to wrap things up a bit, it's kind of a tradition to ask, what did you think of our school? Because I know you got a tour, you got to talk to Mr. Sell.
Right. Well, I'm just so impressed.
Yeah.
I'm so impressed by the school. The teachers are it's clear to me that the teachers are very passionate about what they're doing and what they're teaching. The students seemed engaged and involved. The facilities are very inviting, open for an educational process. I'm so impressed with what the administration has done here. I think that this is really a jewel for Duval County, and I'm glad that this academy is here and for what they do. I think it's just outstanding.
Well, thank you so much, and that's all I have for today. So thank you for letting me interview you.
And thank you for having me.
Awesome.
Very much.